the government in this country wants to release this information. Military intelligence does, because I know some of them, and I think they are watching what happens in terms of the public's reaction. UFOs buzzed the Capitol on July 19th, 1952, and had General Sanford who said, look, they're not ours and they're not Russian. We don't know what they are. They're real. They have discussed what to do about it. Vatican intelligence would really like to discuss it. That's the problem here. We need the government to reveal these files.
These craft that have come here are now not UFOs, they're identified.
People are way ahead of military intelligence.
Disclosure is very close, and the American people need to prepare themselves very soon for an announcement from our government that there is, in fact, an extraterrestrial presence engaging this planet and the human race.
For many years, I've seen satellites and experiments. We speak to the vacuum, share and write to maintain astronomical policies into the new age of Aquarius. We must
The Obama administration, through the nature of who they have appointed and other indications and other information I'm receiving, has made a decision to disclose the ET presence. But that is, of course, an assessment. They are certainly not saying. We are encouraging the administration, which has dedicated itself to open and transparent government, to commit the ultimate act of openness and transparency, and to do it immediately at a critical time in the human race's development.
Our challenges may be new. The instruments with which we meet the demands of the new age may be new. But I will always be honest with you about what we can and must achieve tomorrow. At this moment, it is only the chance for us to make that change. And that cannot happen if we go back to the way things were. It can't happen without you. And a task that you're now called to fulfill. And at this moment in history, your generation must seek peace that align our deepest values and commitments to the demands of a new age. There's new energy to harness. For the world has changed, and we must change with it.
There is a lie being told to everyone. And the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
The level of Earth changes that are going to affect all of us in 2010 will not be to such a strength that the populace of the U.S. will be overly concerned by them. Yeah, it's going to be horrific. We're going to have big earthquakes, giant tornadoes, huge hurricanes, that kind of problem, and droughts and fires. But in the main, it's going to be our social degradation that's got everybody occupied in 2010. But 2011, when the alien war stuff shows up,
Theory has told them UFOs caused the malfunctions.
Happened. Very rarely does a missile malfunction, and I don't think any much more rare would be 2 at the same time, but never 10.
An object came into the frame, shot a beam of light at the warhead, flew up to the top, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew around the direction it was flying, shot another beam of light at the warhead, flew down, shot another beam of light at the warhead, and flew out the same way it came in.
as we go through this stuff, and that really the universe we know is an ordered, structured place, and so I don't personally have any fear about any of the stuff that's coming, because it's going to work out as it should.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do?
Exactly. I didn't create any of it, so I'm not taking any personal responsibility for it. I don't have to stay around and clean up the mess afterwards, so it's like, okay.
Can be immediately identified as the planet Venus, weather balloons, weather anomalies, swamp gas, you name it, we've got it nailed. It's the 5% that give you the relief.
United States Marine Corps. I'm sorry, Captain, this is a restricted area. I can't let you pass without clearance. Okay? Come here. You want to see my clearance? Maybe I'll just leave this here with you. Let him pass. Let him pass.
Will Smith, Independence Day, a movie about aliens invading Earth. But now the United Nations is getting ready for a contact with aliens from outer space. This is Moslin Othman. She's out of Malaysia. She will be planet Earth's first interstellar diplomat.
And it's going to work out as it's supposed to. What's interesting for us is the way in which the linguistics suggest things working out is actually beneficial to humans in a long-term sense, that I don't think we've had this potential for freedom for a long period of time, maybe 500 years or more, because this small 1 or 2% is intent on dominating us all, and they'll be gone. And that's going to be good and bad. We're going to go through a period of disruption as we all try and decide, what does the future mean?
Regarding the missile shutdown incidents, my opinion, their opinion, is that whoever are aboard these craft are sending a signal to both Washington and Moscow, among others, that we are playing with fire, that the possession and threatened use of nuclear weapons potentially threatens the human race and the integrity of the planetary environment.
There is a lie being told to everyone. There is a lie being told to everyone that the weaponization of space is now first being based upon the evil empire, the Russians. There are many enemies, he said, against whom we're going to build this space-based weapon system, the first of whom was the Russians, which was existing at that time. Then there would be terrorists. Then there would be third world countries. Now we call them rogue nations or nations of concern. Then there would be asteroids. And then he would repeat to me over and over, and the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat. And we have witnesses here who have told you that they can shut down our missile silos. They can stop a rocket going into space that's a test. We have witnesses here who have worked in the classified departments who have the courage to come forward here to support what Wernher von Braun told me back in 1974 to 77. And the last card, the last card, the last card would be the extraterrestrial threat.
In his September 21, 1987 speech to the UN General Assembly, President Reagan himself did little to dispel the notion that this deadly misunderstanding brought human-alien cooperation to an end.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.